welcome in live. You're watching the Community Rip live right here on Stocktwits. You're joined, as always, by the fabulous JFDI, Nicholas, as I like to call him, GPAISA, that you will find all over the internet and dropping charts on your head on a regular basis, Gautam, my brother from another mother, and I'm Bags. It's good to see you. It's Wednesday. It's 2 p.m. We're right here on Stocktwits. We are on X. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere. Welcome. And guys, what a difference 24 hours makes.
Ain't that the truth? Are we just chalking this all up to election nonsense, as GP was talking yesterday? Because it sure as hell seems that way.
It's a back test. Ultimately, Nick, the back test was it was election related. My personal opinion, they were buying puts in case something catastrophic happened, but ultimately nothing catastrophic happened. The expected incumbents won, and just we're causing the squeeze, right? So
what outcome would have been unfavorable to the long side?
Let's say violence ensued, right? So something happened, he wins and he gets people start like the whole market stuff, right? With the politics. I'm going to talk about it for 1 minute. Right behind me is New York City. That is from my house. I get to see this every single day. It's irony that the same people who voted for Trump and told people to leave the country when they were threatening to leave are the same people who are going to leave New York City who won't leave. This is all hyperbole at the end of the day. Lots of reasons to be even more racist than you fuckers have been. Not you guys, but people posting outrageous shit like 9/11 crashes and like absolutely bonkers. New York City has and will always be better than any city in the world, and will find a way to be the right city for the right time any given moment. And people calling it dead. I saw people posting subtle ass racist shit like, hey, I've never been to New York and I'm never going there now because a Muslim is running. Anyway, so if you had something related to that, Nick, like someone tried to assassinate him or something like that, then you can talk about that conversation we were having yesterday about civil war and stuff like that. Like, so that's the unexpected outcome that I'm glad none of that stuff happened. Cuomo was actually really kind of professional about he wasn't up to the election, but accepting defeat. He was professional in that single moment. I
mean, Mondani had more votes than everybody else combined. He can pound sand. Let's talk about the market. I mean, I get where you're going with all this, GP. We talked about it on yesterday's show about some of this selling might have been because of what election outcomes may be, but we're here now. And Nick, I think it's just a bottom.
Tom. Yeah. You know, the after hours action last night I thought was pretty gross. You saw A-Lab down, you saw AMD down. I had a feeling AMD was going to get bought up, but I was trying not to like I don't know, get too fucking crazy. I did want to talk about Bitcoin real quick though.
Double beat on AMD. Sorry, you know I love Lisa Sue. Double beat, and all of a sudden it was down 6-7% to start the after hours yesterday.
Yeah. Back up to Bitcoin real quick though. If you pull up the Bitcoin daily, I thought after we had that wild ass I don't know, whatever happened. What Friday was that? Was that last Friday or the Friday before? Whatever day that was, that we had that
there's been a bunch of bullshit Fridays.
Right. Okay, so if you're looking at the Bitcoin here, you hear like Duzio and a lot of other people talk about like threes, like, you know, a lot of things come in threes. So if you look at Bitcoin, you've got 3 legs down essentially with just in what we're looking at right here, beginning in October, right? So like from October, whatever it is, we had our first leg down, second leg down, and then our third leg down. If you connect the highs from early October just through late October, and then and then same thing underneath from that the pivot low just at the end of October. I'm sorry, at the end of September. To your right. Nope, next one. Yep. So you connect those down, you can see pretty clearly that we've got 3 like definitive legs down. You've got the first wave, the second wave, and then the third. And within that structure, we've got it's about as symmetrical as it gets. Typically within a descending wedge or even like a descending channel, you really want to see 5 waves or legs. And that's why a lot of times when you see me post charts, I'll usually have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do that because, in my opinion, if we don't get a breakout after the 5th leg or 5th wave of that touch, I'm just going to like basically throw some alerts on and leave it alone because I think it just needs more time. In this case, this was right in alignment with the 100K mark, which I thought was a pretty like, even if you were bearish or not bearish, even if like you were worried about this thing, I don't know why you wouldn't throw something at 100K. We also have, as of where it's at right now, it's reclaiming that pivot low, which is that third touch, which is like another kind of like ad spot. So like if you're looking to I guess the reason I kind of brought this up is because you see a lot of people wanting to catch falling knives, and a lot of times they do it, or at least from what I see, is they're trying to attempt catching a falling knife without really having, I don't know, some form of plan. When there's
any
patterns,
type of plan.
yeah, when there's a pattern out there that is showing you this is what is happening, you actually have a plan. You're not really catching a falling knife per se. So anyways, that's just the reason I wanted to bring up Bitcoin. I thought, but and Ethereum looks exactly the same actually. So same wedge. It's a little bit more of a channel, but it hasn't quite reclaimed that second touch of the channel, of that descending channel. But you could argue if we get a strong close today, you could argue that today would constitute as a 200-day pocket pivot. Like we'll get a wide range close through the 200-day on hopefully above average volume. And then I don't know, like when you think about like, let's say, Bitcoin, even like Tesla, or again, Ethereum, to GP's point yesterday, talking about these liquidity grabs. And a lot of times, like we see these liquidity grabs before ultimately price fucking rips. I think, I don't know, that's kind of in the camp. Like it was so funny with what's her name, tweeting us yesterday and saying, what happened to we're not bullish enough. And I'm like, dude, I know, like I don't know. It kind of like hit me.
I don't know how you can get more bullish than basically all in.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So it was an interesting day yesterday because it felt very like kind of weary. I don't know. It was like a great couple days though.
I was just hitting Trader Ty up in the chat there, and I mentioned this yesterday on our call. What was the last thing I said at dinner Wednesday when we were in Coronado, Nick? I said Bitcoin is probably going to flush, and we're going to see something down around 100, and it's going to be fast and scary, and people are going to lose their shit.
Yes.
I mean, that's verbatim what I said was going to happen, and so far it's playing out. I love when we see it. We're looking at the Ethereum chart right now, but I love when we cut through some of these moving averages and then pop back up. It's that classic undercut and go. Now, could it go lower? Sure, it could. Is momentum on the bull side? Yes, right now it is, because you pulled that beach ball underwater, and now it's time to go higher.
Yeah, I think that's the power of layering the if-thens. Like who really gives a fuck like whether or not you're quote unquote right or wrong. Like it's a matter of like taking a stab at what you think and then just continuing to layer and level. We've preached it like time and time again on this podcast. It's like,
Oh my
you
God.
don't need to be all in, all out. You just need to be in alignment with the dominant trend and take the if-thens. If-thens, if-thens, if-thens. If this happens, I'll do this. If this happens, I'll do that. It's not like, I hate to say it, it's simple, as you've heard a bazillion people say. It's just not always easy.
GB, what's your take on the crypto world?
So I think can you hear me okay? Is this
You
better?
sound great.
Okay. So in general, this is, I think, something we touched on a few weeks ago, which is between July and October. I said survive until end of October and wait for November, right? And so between July and October, we have typically seen like 10 to 15% corrections in the markets for many years running right now, right? We have seen that over and over again, and stocks underneath get beaten down 40, 50, 60%. And then they spend the next 3 months, once it bottoms in October, excuse me, using all their energy just to get back to break even, right? So here's another thing that while the market stayed sideways, correction through time, so to speak, you've had corrections in individual stocks. They were bad, but they weren't as bad as previous times. They weren't 50, 60%. They were 20 to 35%, let's say, for the most part, right? Which is what we talked about yesterday. And where the badness happened was crypto. So while all of this is happening, while this whole corrective cycle is happening, the markets are staying right here, right along the lines of we're in a much better place and base from where we have been in prior cycles from this same launch area, right? Elections are now done. The interim elections are now done. So we get to move out of this in a way that I think a lot more things participate. So the market's staying sideways while everything under the sun corrects for the most part, gives you room to move higher, right? And it gives you room to move substantially higher. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to see it. Everyone thinks it's overvalued, but that's my view. And look, crypto shook out everyone, and you had essentially a double bottom. We wicked at this level a month ago, and then came back and retested it. So far, we've held. That is, in my view, a back test of a liquidity zone, and basically every levered long in crypto got smoked out, so they couldn't buy back in, right? And so you need to find new buyers on that same test, and it found new buyers on that same test. Other people are willing to jump in. So you now have multiple things suggesting that from where they are, we have a lot more room higher, right? So it's not bullish enough. And to answer that question about not bullish enough is, you can be bullish long term, but if you're going to get a 5% correction and you're going to get destroyed on stuff, you won't have ammo to fire back when you need to, right? So you have to be bullish with a cautious stance and take even like Cookie, when he talks about it, Cookie's not balls to the wall all the way in all the time. He takes it as zones. He takes it up and higher. So it's just about, so like I raised a bunch of cash knowing I probably regret it this morning. I actually just posted it in my Discord when I took the loss on Coinbase. I was like, I'm gonna regret this immediately tomorrow morning. But that's my rules. It broke under my levels, could not find a buyer.
Gotta sell.
It could have easily gapped down another 10%, right? So do I want to risk it? No, it's not one of my stronger conviction names at this point. So that's the way I see it.
It's one of mine, though.
Yeah, in the 50s and 60s and the hundreds for sure. But here, the room to go lower was all the way back to like the 240 level. So I'm like, I'm not risking that.
No, and I posted something about that earlier today on Stocktwits and over on Twitter. It's easy to borrow someone's ideas, right? And it's easy to copy trade people. But what's not easy is to have the same conviction or the same strategy as other people. So just because I have a strong conviction in coin, you're completely different, right? GP, like at certain levels, you've got to bail, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think where people get it twisted a lot of the time is they think it's all one size fits all. And I know we talked about this last week from our time at Stocktoberfest, but everybody does stuff differently, and that's okay. At the end of the day, as long as you're happy with your process and you're happy with your bottom line and your returns, that's where you're golden, right, Nick?
100%. I was thinking this morning, kind of going back and forth with a few people on just kind of Twitter and even Stocktwits. It's like, actually, Joey had me thinking about it when he was talking about the Archer CEO. I was like, if money is power, and we're kind of immersed in this finance environment, and trading and the market is really about kind of the hero's journey, you know, finding yourself, becoming the best version of yourself. I think that the more it's kind of, I have such a love-hate relationship with social media. But I feel like the more we kind of, not saying we, but like the collective we on both Stocktwits, Twitter, FinTwit, whatever you want to call it, really preach like the mental side of it and like your process. I think the more we can kind of infuse this industry as a whole with like, I don't know, more love and compassion and positivity, and do a lot of like good things throughout the world, rather than like having these arguments about, you know, who is getting taxed more, you know, any of these conversations that we all want to argue about and who's to blame for this or that. I think really, I don't know where I was kind of going with that, but I just, yeah, like your process, there's not a one size fits all, and we're all at our own time and place and space. Like we're all looking at this, we're all looking at the market and life and the world through our lens. I don't know, you know, I agree.
Carl Sagan has entered the chat.
Oh, there he is, Joey.
Speaking of things we love and sharing the love, I've got a big Sharpie mark on Tesla there. And I don't know, guys, might be bullish. You tell me.
Yeah, I think Tesla looks fantastic. I think, by the way, Matt from GraniteShares emailed me yesterday.
Me too. Hi, Matt. I hope you're watching.
I meant to email him back telling him I was buying TSLL and TSL on Thursday morning. What's that?
Is that the guy who was talking to us about gold?
No.
He was at breakfast with us. He was with GraniteShares, talking about using the levered ETFs in like news-driven scenarios. Like we were talking about like a, you know, like AMD would have been a good example today. I don't know if there isn't a levered AMD. I would imagine there is, but like
the AMDL.
So you have like these EPS moves or a news move, or like UNH, for instance. Like let's say it gets to a point where you think that it's overdone, whichever move that may be, or direction the move may be. Taking the levered ETF in those zones of extreme, like, is a super, like, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but when he was talking about that at breakfast, I was like, dude, that's fucking genius.
We gotta stop talking about the breakfast because I'm gonna just have to go make some migas, and I don't have time for that right now. Let's talk about Tesla.
Yeah. Tesla, look, I mean, I think this is the move that pushes it to. I know a lot of people are thinking like 500-ish. I think this is it. Like this is the fucking mother of breakouts.
I want to take every single one of those Tesla calls of 500 and punch them in the face. Like, oh, look, this thing moves 5 to 8% in an intraday move, and you're calling for a 10% move higher like you're some genius. It's literally just a Thursday. Sorry, but the moves here is to 750 in the short term by the end of the year. It is going to break out here, not because of the news, but because of what we talked about with elections. This has been suppressed for so long because of how they can sell covered calls. They can sell all this stuff, and people are not doing that this week. So the chances of this breaking out and breaking out meaningfully increase exponentially as soon as Thursday passes. Unfortunately, Elon's an asshole and kept his meeting on Thursday instead of Monday, and we could have experienced this joy a lot earlier. But this has been, as a stock, has been confined by the flow of options consistently for the last 4 or 5 months, 6 months. I've been talking about it for a long time.
Forever.
This is not the movement of what Tesla is, and this is probably the last major catalyst that they can do this covered call selling and naked shorting and doing all this stuff before the end of the year. So I think this is a breakout, not because of the news, though everyone's narrative will be the news that drops. It'll be the breakout as a function of the market structure, right? So, and that's why I think this week, I know everyone's buying calls as well, hoping that it happens. So you tend to think that it won't happen, but this move here in Tesla is not to 500. It is not to 510. It is not to 550. It is dude, go look at the monthly breakouts on this chart. They are 50 to 60% moves in the month that it breaks out. 50 to 60%. I'll repeat it again. 50% from the 488 breakout is what? It is 715, I believe, right? 244. Yep, just about. Just an FYI. So I don't think you're bullish. That's okay. It's okay if you're not bullish enough.
So they're voting on the pay package tomorrow night, yeah? Or is that
yeah.
Is it? Yeah, tomorrow night. Polymarket has the approval at like 99%. So it's pretty much like in the bag, yeah.
I don't think it was ever not in the bag, right?
Sure.
And so you have other potential catalysts like, hey, because this vote passes, the Delaware court might be forced to reverse their decision as well. So you have that additional kind of layers that step in. I'm not even talking about Elon's lack of delivery of things, but just overall structure and what things can go. Obviously, Tesla fails 99 out of 100 times. So if I'm wrong, then I didn't say any of this. We'll delete.
Delete.
Are either of you guys on, or you guys use Polymarket or any of these betting things?
Not really? Used it once. I used it once.
Okay. I follow them on Twitter, and I'm kind of, I don't know, just enjoying watching the betting on all things. I think it's pretty entertaining.
Arson wants my take on Tesla. I mean, I'm bullish Tesla here. I've liked Tesla, the chart for a minute. Let me go back to the chart. Like, I think it's constructive. I think it probably goes higher. Cookie and GP have convinced me to cancel my $500 sell order to liquidate my position. But do I think it's going up 50, 60, 70% from here in 1 month? Call me skeptical. I'm here for it, but call me skeptical.
I'm not going to put a time frame on it.
Ultimately, I'm looking to drop off the rest of the shares I have and recycle that cash somewhere else. So I'm not. I can be I posted this the other day. I can be bullish the stock and bearish the unicorn brain, right? Like I can be that. I can have two different thoughts in my head, and that's completely okay. But yes, I think the chart is constructive and odds favor higher. So there you go. The
Tesla.
So I think I was having this conversation with a friend. He wants to deport Elon and keep the tech, and I was like, no. Just do what we did during COVID. Deport him and make him work remotely, because we still need him. Like there is no tech without Elon. Like as much as you hate him, He drives things with his engineering team, with his pie in the sky, asshole behavior, all that stuff is
I don't
all
have to
part of,
love that.
No, you don't have to. What I'm saying is we need the tech to stay ahead, right? And in an environment where the world is focusing on AI and all those other things, we have the current edge right now. We have the best talent, in my opinion, and we have with all the talent in the world, without the proper capital funding, is pretty useless, right? If you don't have the money, you ain't doing anything with it. So we have a combination of what makes it a potential home run across the board for us as a country to be ahead, right? And one of your top guys in that space is needed.
We've got everybody else's opinion on Tesla. Hey, producer Ryan, crack the mic and tell us what you think about Tesla.
Tesla.
Yeah, baby.
Let me tell you a little bit about Tesla, okay? Long.
There you go. Perfect. See, that's all we needed, Ryan. Thanks. See, we even bring you a cameo from Ryan in the show.
No, I love I mean, Tesla, the tech is great. I mean, it's Elon. Like, yeah.
That's right, Joey. This is how we do it, bro.
Yeah,
that's
Joey.
right. Tyrone.
Where are you at, Joey?
Got a guy, Ryan, on the show today. We just went through my list of everything we're talking about, guys. So we can take some charts. We got 30 minutes left.
Yeah.
We can talk about Mondani. We can talk about deporting Elon.
Let's bring up.
I'm so fucking bullish on everything that we want to talk. So have at it. Let's just have a cornucopia.
Bring up FUBO. We're gonna give this one out to Joey. He's getting bombarded with why.
I hear FUBO works out.
And FUBO?
Yeah. So start with the largest time frame. Joey, you're gonna want to listen here.
All right.
I think he's gonna anyway because he's gangster like that. But to me, this is your classic double bottom, and this double bottom on a monthly time frame, on a quarterly time frame, on a yearly time frame, the secondary bottom happened on massive volume, and you've had back-to-back inside months. We're holding levels. We are within this range. Anywhere in this base, the closer you get to $3, in my opinion, the better the entry will be and the bigger the size you can load. So I'm half size as of today, and I will be adding. If we get to 330, I will be more than doubling the position if I get
Joey,
there.
I have no stake in this. I think this is an easy chart to trade if one were interested in trading it.
Yes. But this is the this is the setup of Lemonade.
Lemonade, that cool.
This is the setup of CRISPR. This is the setup of Wayfair. This is the setup of almost every double bottom in the markets in the last 2 years.
Throwing up the dub.
Throw the signs up.
Throw up the dub, baby.
Right? Path.
GP's
Unity.
been so bullish the dub for a year and a half.
Yep. And I was still wrong and right at the same time. So go figure that one out.
You got anything else to give Joey on FUBO here?
I think you have this weekly bar. If you go from the monthly to the weekly, you see the double bottom.
I'm on the quarterly because that's where you always like for me to start, GP.
Yeah. So that's you see the double bottom undercut go. On the monthly, it's holding all the different moving averages, which are now curling and getting better. So it gets to that yellow moving average. You have this inverse head and shoulder here on the weekly against that massive weekly bar, right?
You just overtook the 200 weekly. You're positive all the moving averages, Joey.
And it's a golden cross.
Come on, Joey.
This is not going to be tomorrow, but I think this is set up to outperform from here.
No brainer. Nick, you like it?
Yeah, I like the larger time frames, especially the weekly. I like the weekly and the monthly more than anything.
Yeah.
I think the daily, I mean, I might set an alert at 440. It's not a name I think that like I would buy on weakness just for me, but if I've got the capital available and it takes out that 440, I'd consider getting involved.
Homie Arson wants us to look at Micron. Nick, you got to take on Micron other than it's gone absolutely bonkers crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what
Arson, tell us what your problem is with Micron because it looks fabulous. I mean, I don't know what your hesitation is here.
I don't even think you need to trim or trail, just ride this thing. Yeah, I don't know what to really
I've got the top of the channel up here near 300 somewhere.
Sure.
So do with that information what you will. I have no position, and this is not financial advice.
I mean, you got to measure move at 300. You know, the price is trending. Like it's just like on a straight melt mode, up to 10 and 20. So it's like you could probably, I'd argue that a break of the 20-day is a change in character. So if I was gonna trim and trail, I would be using the 20-day at this point.
210.
What's that? 210?
211. Call it 211. Yeah, I mean, anything that's made money this year is overextended, Arson. So, I mean, I understand your concerns, but I also see that we've had four of the 5 previous days were selling off, and that, as I say, that kind of keeps the porridge just right.
It's the larger time frame, guys, right? Like I think you guys all see it. It is a 25-year base breakout, right? Like this is what quite often people refer to as a wave 3 breakout. It is shallow, it is relentless, it makes you question every time you buy or sell, and usually regret it as well. So this is along the lines of IBM. IBM is doing something similar. All this old tech, Intel is doing similar. Cisco is about to do the same. There'll be a time where you short this, but it's not now.
I mean, I just took.
I wouldn't be looking to short. I certainly wouldn't be looking to short.
So,
but you also shouldn't be trimming too much.
1993.
No. I'd rather use a trail than to arbitrarily pick a spot to trim. I'm not very good at trimming into strength, so like I don't really care if I end up giving money back before I peel off, because chances are I'm going to ride it longer than I would have anyway if I would have sold it into strength. MU, just continue to drag the way that I'm playing is I'm just going to continue to drag the fibs up, and at this point, the 0.38 is at 200. So it's like, even if the thing pulls back to 200, you've got to trade against the round number. By that point, the 50-day will catch up. I wouldn't be looking to fade it. I don't know. SMH also just put in a massive engulfer today, which is fantastic to see.
Broadcom.
Yep.
AMD. We are. Well, didn't Satya just say it from Microsoft? We are not constrained by anything other than power, right? And so he might be cautious, but he's still bullish the overall theme. As they resolve the power needs, we will start to see this expand even further. And so all the old tech is now finally getting their heyday in the sun ultimately, right? Like IBM is they've had what AI-ish stuff like Watson since like the 70s, right? And they finally, it's like, yes, finally 40 years later we are now with the trend. And then you have Micron, which obviously just took out all-time highs from .com. Cisco's close to it. Intel's close to it. All these old tech companies were so beaten up and dead because they had no growth. They were solid companies, but they didn't have any growth. What AI is doing is reigniting the growth in these staple companies. What does Cisco do? They do networking. Look at what's happening in SanDisk. Look at what's happening in Western Digital, right? Like look across the board of all these old tech companies that were left for dead all these years because they just had no growth, and now their return to growth is happening because the AI boom is expanding. And so all these old tech companies with solid fundamentals, not expensive by any means, are starting to bust and move higher. You're talking
GP,
about a
do you want to talk a little bit more about Cisco, or no?
Yeah. So
there's your quarterly chart.
Yeah, the Cisco's the same conversation. Last month, we'll do the quarterly, but this is a massive ascending triangle on the quarterly, Nick. On the yearly, this is not an expensive stock, but how do you connect AI and data centers and storage and everything? What's the biggest thing that you need? You need a network to connect all of this. What does Cisco do? They do networking. So this space in general, it's not just Cisco related. It will be the next piece of the AI puzzle that starts to pop higher, right? And so Cisco, I think, has a 2.2% dividend as well. So it's pretty solid. It has a wide variety of, but so the quarterly looks like a ascending triangle. Monthly broke out, put in a inside candle, and then broke through last higher, and we are now following through to the upside. So it's got the room. I personally can't see Cisco getting past 82 for whatever reason in my weird warped brain, but when it does take out 82, it's going to be a monster because it's not expensive by any means.
Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins still owes me $100, so instead of him paying me my $100, I'll see if he can come on the show next week and he can chat up Cisco and what they're doing.
Bring him on. Bring him on.
He's a big fan of the show, but he still owes me $100. I never let him live it down.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of charts here. Let's Stairs said PL Platinum Planet Labs.
Yeah, PL. Sucker looks ripe.
It's young. GP's not gonna like it.
Yeah, this is also a SPAC, isn't it?
A SPAC, yep. GP ain't gonna like it.
Nope.
He's gonna poo-poo it all right off the bat.
I'm just not gonna touch it.
Nick, why do you like it?
I like it because it's sitting above all-time highs, or like, I guess I don't know if that's actually all-time highs, but I like back in, what is it? 2021, 2022 was kind of where it looks like it came public. I'm not really sure, but I like the massive breakout through $7 on huge volume. And then it kind of melted higher, and it's been kind of grinding sideways or kind of coiling down on pretty minimal volume compared to the run up. On top of that, it's kind of coiling right into the 50-day, which, like, so if I was just looking at it, I mean, I'd be looking at a run from here to 20.
Yeah, I think you got a pretty clear stop right there around $12, right?
Yeah, easy.
Right,
I mean, I would even. I'd probably give it to like 1170, maybe even 1169 or something funny like that. But
I would do 1144.
There we go. What was the other one? Open. Yeah, open will look pretty fucking hot too. Kind of same thing. I mean, it's a Momo trade in my opinion, but it looks like it's got a if it can pop here, I would measure the next leg up to about somewhere between like 16 and $18 is kind of what I would be looking
Double
at
from here.
Yeah, I'm just measuring the first kind of takeoff leg. You know, TradingView makes it really easy to kind of to measure out these legs because they have the fib extension tool, but I just drag it from the low to high and then pull it back. I don't look at a lot of the like 1.618 extension or 2 extension. I just look for the 1-to-1 because a lot of times if it's a Momo trade, like I'll just be either taking half or if not more off at the measured move and then riding the rest. But usually that's not, at least in my experience and from my own trading, that's usually not how it's played out. But
Randy dropped an ETF, UFO. I like it, Randy. I mean, I don't know anything about the chart, but I love when Randy drops knowledge in the chat because I know we've been giving away a lot of alpha over our years, but Randy has too. So shout out to Randy.
I still remember his pave. Remember that one?
Yeah.
The
check on old
US.
page. Ty brought up INTR. That was a name that Logan had on when he came on. So let's revisit that guy. I haven't looked at it. It's just grinding higher. That's all it's doing. Just keep on going. I got that channel there bumping up against the bottom of the middle of the channel there. Beep, 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 beep. All the way up. So to me, that indicates it's probably going to go over it at some point pretty soon. Let's see what else we got in the chat. JFDI says SoFi is greater than coin.
Okay. I mean, I think on the larger time frames, like on the monthly, weekly, I think they both look fantastic.
Hey, I'm long both, so I mean, tickle my fancy
for sure.
And I will see both of your comments and say Dave is better than all those fuckers.
Dude, yeah, Dave was I pulled up Dave.
Oh, only 60, 70x. Not too bad. not too bad. While you guys are focused on the retail names, this was the big winner.
It did great, GP. I mean, how many times you need us to pat you on the back and say, good job, buddy?
No, I'm just saying Dave is better than SoFi.
Yeah. Hood reports after the close today, so I would imagine whatever happens with Hood will kind of spill over into both of those. But as long as, despite Hood earnings, I think a lot of it's going to be driven by just whether or not crypto wants to kind of continue to fall through. I think, or follow through to the upside. As long as crypto doesn't completely, and I guess when I think about crypto, yeah, I'm thinking of like your main 5, right? Like your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, Solana, I don't know, maybe your XRP or Dodge, right? As long as those don't shit the bed, I think that all 3 of them should continue to kind of to bode well. But I think if I don't know where, I kind of lost my train of thought. But Hood earnings tonight, and then let's get crypto to keep pumping.
Well, let's look at the current market cap of the craptos: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, XRP, Binance, Solana, USDC, Tron, Dogecoin, and Cardano are your top 10 in market share. There you go.
When I think of crypto, a lot of times I think of what's available on Robinhood.
Sure.
And I think the reason I do that is because I just imagine, like, trying to talk to, like my dad barely knows how to send an email, let alone get like an app broker to work, like getting Robinhood or Coin. Like Robinhood is way easier than Coinbase. And I just feel like if
for the novice, yes.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people that are not currently involved in crypto, I mean, with Robinhood, there's so much more to the story than I think just crypto, but it plays a big part in it, in my opinion.
What are the names we got?
RBRK. Let's talk about this one.
Rubric. RBRK.
I got stopped out of that one.
That's
I think it looks terrible.
Is that a quantum name?
No, it's a cybersecurity.
No, cybersecurity.
Yeah.
I think it looks terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. I don't like it. You know why I don't like it, GP?
No, I don't.
Batman.
Yes. But ultimately just
Yes,
breaking through
queen.
levels.
Yeah,
It
that's what I was
broke
just gonna say. It
just broke the 50-week.
I would much rather just go ahead and buy CrowdStrike. Like if
Yeah,
I wanna
totally.
be
I mean, Joy
But
should be happy with crowd anyway.
Let's go back to our BRK, right? Let's talk about the technicals on why
Yeah.
as well. Right. So is that the 50-week SMA?
Yes, it is.
Why does mine look different than yours?
Because I've got an
Is yours
SMA.
EMA or SMA?
Mine's SMA for sure.
Mine's
Um,
SMA.
Okay. Anyway, so it looks different on my chart. It broke the 50-week that was rising last week, and this week it confirmed down. So it is below that big sell bar, aka distribution mean reversion. I would not be touching this until it reclaims that red massive volume bar. It's also a prior pivot from early 2025, late 2024, all kinds of stuff there. This is broken. This is not where you find out. This is what's going to happen to UNH.
Oh my God!
Let's just sneak that in there.
We're not getting the UNH right now. We're not doing it.
Yep.
Arson wants to know about silver, and I'll gladly go to silver before we talk about UNH right now.
Fair enough. Silver looks good. Gold looks good too. I think metals just got their retest and put on the 9-week moving average on silver. I think.
I mean,
is the blue? Yep.
I think we kind of got a
back-to-back test
with silver. I feel like we got to kind of pour one out for a lot of the silver bulls that got obliterated in the early days of Stocktwits. Because I remember, like, there were so many like services things like coming out because of these dudes that just absolutely crushed the silver run. And then I the same guys, none of them are around anymore, but you saw them continually buying the weakness and ultimately got blown out. But I think silver looks phenomenal too. And the thing I like about silver almost more than gold is just the fact that it hasn't taken out highs yet.
Yeah, but so like this is the same chart as gold as well, right? Like on the weekly, you had this kind of blow off top that everyone's like, oh, that's the end of the cycle. But oh, let's take a look at the weekly volume. The weekly volume doesn't really stack up here. Like, okay, so it's not a blow off top. It doesn't work that way. And then you have back-to-back tests of the rising 9-week moving average. You have your line in the sand, breaks that level, closes below that level on a weekly basis, get the F out. And if it doesn't, this is going higher for the next leg. Real simple charts. It's the same chart in gold as well. If you pull up gold.
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, it went to the wrong screen. There we go.
GLD, same. This is monthly, but go to the weekly.
Okay.
That short was epic. It was awesome, but that short is done now. If you look at that short, that weekly bar, it is lower volume and did not close below the prior weeks
or low.
Open or low or whatever that mark is, right? And so that was your first clue that this is a little bit of consolidation, not anything much more than that. And now you have back-to-back weeks hammering off the 9-week. I know we still have a few days left here, but it's a rising 9-week. It's the first test. We're going higher. I'm long gold. I was short. I'm now long. I rolled off all my positions. I had puts for January, futures short. All of it's gone. I'm to the upside. This, I think, now takes out all-time highs again. But you have a clearly defined line there of where to get the hell out if it breaks down.
I mean, if we're going to talk about silver, we should probably talk about solar then too, because I mean, I would imagine that silver is going to run with solar, and tan is just breaking out.
Yeah, and First Solar is going apeshit.
Yeah.
Bang bang.
There's so many trades. I try not to think about when I sell things and it goes higher. I try not to think about when I didn't buy things and they go higher. But every time we bring up the First Solar, like, man, I couldn't have called that $60 move.
I know. I remember you talking about it. I'm like, I'm not interested.
God, damn.
I'm not fucking it. I was like, dude.
Yeah,
that's actually you got like 115 just like a year and a half ago, right? So
yeah.
it was another opportunity of a lifetime. We're sitting now at, this is another one of those 25-year base structures, right? Or
But
15,
how many
17.
opportunities of a lifetime have we just talked about in today's episode?
Oh man, so many.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you can't catch them all. That's the problem. And just like we talked about yesterday, GP and Nick, I mean, if you put on a bunch of different trades and you have a stop loss at 5% and you take the 20% winners, right? You're at the end of the day, you're all, but you can't spread all of your money across the entire market and expect to catch those trades. And while I love First Solar, we're coming full circle now back to the beginning of the podcast here, the beginning of the show, of it wasn't my conviction that I wanted First Solar at $60. It was just the chart, right? So it's hard for me to jump back in and just be like, oh yeah, 120. I'm all in this name that I could really give three shits about.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's not a good trade. That doesn't mean it's not profitable and has done wonderful, but it's just not for me. And I think, again, what we do best as retail is we trade the things we know, things we have experience in, and the charts that we're familiar with, because every chart has its own attitude, DNA, whatever you want to call it. It has its own structure, and you kind of get to know that and understand it.
Yep.
Fair.
And I think at the same time, we had the same debate happening with First Solar and Coinbase. And they were around the same price, I believe. My memory, I'm getting older, so it's not as great as it used to be. But
You're not old or older.
Getting older.
Okay.
Right? So, I'm not old. I didn't say that. I still have a black mustache,
Sure.
uncolored. Uncolored. We're still good. But we talked about, I think we talked about both, and your conviction was in Coinbase. Both have been phenomenal, right? So
Yeah.
You're talking about 500-600% in Coinbase. We talked about what, 51, 52?
Yeah, we were in the 50s, the low 50s.
Yeah. It was like a no-brainer. If FTX scam couldn't destroy crypto, we're going higher, right?
Yeah.
It was like one of the most easiest. It was hard to see at the time for a lot of people because that was 2022 and people were miserable. That miserable bear theory was running wild. But yeah, if you had an infinite sum of money like most of FinTwit does, then you're in every name all the time. But when you're not, you got to choose your convictions.
Exactly.
Thinking about you talking about coin back then, I think that's kind of the beauty of, again, social media. And rather than getting into arguments with people on the internet about time frame and strategy, just try and kind of take what resonates from people and drop the rest. Like if you're a technical trader and you follow a bunch of fundamental guys that are, I don't know, big fucking brains and know all this shit, like all the better. It should just add a layer of conviction to your trades, especially if those are in alignment. And I remember thinking to coin back then, I was like, God, I don't know. I wish I would have taken a better stab at it.
It's okay, Nick. I mean,
yeah.
Right. Like I have my conviction in the crypto space, and I've been there for a while, and that's not something that like for solar for me, right? Like that's not, it's hard to put on different skin and be somebody else when you have a process that works for you. So we've got 3 minutes left. Let's talk about United Healthcare.
There you go.
Because Joey wanted it.
GP,
we're a show for the people. This is the community rip, and by God, you guys want to talk about it? GP, the floor is yours.
Sorry, what were you saying, Nick?
I thought maybe for those in the chat or those listening, just give us like a quick like 30-second rundown of that dinner, and then take it away, just to give us a backdrop.
Lex Trading was at Stocktwits, Stocktoberfest, and we were talking about
awesome dude, by the way.
Awesome dude, great guy. I thought we had a really good, friendly conversation about this stuff. I have my convictions. I'm in the camp that UNH is going lower. He's in the camp that TAM matters, and UNH, even if it goes lower, moat matters. And he's in the camp that even if it does go lower, he's just going to buy more. They're the number one. And I can respect that decision. Like, you have your convictions, and I just asked him the simple question, which was, what happens if it goes lower? Which is what this is a technical conversation. This is not a opinion on UNH itself. But all of that stuff. Go to the 200-day on go to the daily on the UNH.
I'd love to, and put the 200-day up.
Yeah, but all this power, all this movement, and it couldn't even tag the 200-day, right? And then sold off, and it's been going down since. You're at a point where here at 327, if buyers show up, which they haven't yet, if they show up, great. But you're looking at a potential island top right below the 200 SMA that it couldn't even track to hit. And so it's a monthly 9-month rejection, right? First rejection on a mean reversion on a terrible technical chart, goes back and usually undercuts the lows. So the question I asked Lex at the time was, are you willing to buy it under 234? That's the question I had for anyone who was a bull on UNH. I am short now after I looked
He
at the
was
daily
as
chart.
long. He said yes as long as the what was his reasoning?
I don't know. We're going to have to get Lex on the show.
Yeah. I don't. His reasoning is unless something really changes in Medicare, right, or the health system ultimately.
From an outsider perspective, or from the perspective of someone that has no position or skin in the game with UNH, I thought it to be such a fascinating conversation because both of your entries are fucking sick and literally on the opposite extremes. He's long from the reclaim of 250, and then you're basically short versus the 200-day. I mean, now price is kind of reverting back to kind of that, like, the range, but I don't know. I just thought it was so great. I really enjoyed that dinner and hearing you guys go back and forth.
I'm going to cover when it gets to 188. Don't worry about it. Sorry, I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't for the bulls, but I hope it does for my puts. So,
all right, last word. Let's round it up. GP,
you are not bullish enough.
Several words, but I love it. Nick?
Yeah, JFDI. Just fucking do it, man.
Just fucking do it. I didn't.
That's what it
JFDI
stands for?
No, it stands for just focus and do it. I went to
just fucking do it's better.
I know.
Yeah,
it's a mantra. I had an employer send me to
I love it.
A leadership seminar way back, and JFDI was like one of their acronyms, and it stands for just focus and do it. But as I started to really use it, like, some days I've got to just fucking do it. Other days it's more about the focus than kind of powering through. So I use it both ways, but that's what it stands for.
All right, I've got a question for you both. What do you call a pony with a sore throat? A little horse. And that's our show. Thank you. I'll be here next week, 2 p.m. on Wednesday. You're watching the Community Rip Live. We love you, and we'll see you then.
That's terrible.